Hi, I'm Alan08, and I'm going to do a recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 4. And it's a continuation of Kyle versus Dorit, Round 2. Boy, this is getting on my nerves. And it continues on with Dorit, like the whole, Dorit making a point of Kyle's one-way street mentality, where it's like Kyle can say whatever and do whatever, but you better not do the same thing to her. And if you do or have do anything that slights Kyle, she has the right to punish you for a certain amount of months, or maybe close to a year. And Kyle actually does acknowledge that she does do that, and and the look on Sutton's face was definitely telling him like, oh, so you do know you do that, and you're acknowledging it now? Interesting. Like the looks on certain ladies' faces during this whole scene was very much telling and very much interesting. Let's see. But anyways, Kyle admits that she does punish those who don't give her blind royal. Did I say royalty? Loyalty. I'm sorry. Blind loyalty. Or if someone says something that she doesn't like, or calls her out, or is honest with her. And I thought back to season 12 when they were in Aspen, and then there was the whole like Garcelle when Garcelle was on the outs with Erica, like why Garcelle and Sutton unfollowed Erica, and then it was Garcelle and Sutton versus Erica, Renna, and Diana, and then Kyle had this confession of like Diana's being honest when she insulted Sutton by calling her "see you next Tuesday," and that Diana reduced herself to tears, saying that Sutton came after her when she was just crying, playing victim, and trying to get attention. But Kyle had the nerve to say, like, she was honest, but Garcelle couldn't be honest. Sutton couldn't be honest. And now, fast forward to season 14, there's she punishes Dorit because she didn't like that she was being honest with her. So it just made me think of season 12 during that one episode or in other episodes. And as Dory was like naming points of like the times when she felt slighted by Kyle, Sutton was mouthing, "We're going back that far," and then Erica responds by mouthing, "We're talking years ago." And I said, like, this is interesting. Like, sounds like, are we hearing this right now? And the only reason Dory points out the very points against Kyle was to make a point that Kyle was not as good of a friend as she says she was. And I can't be mad at Dorit for that because is that not the truth? We also, those that watch seasons past have seen how Kyle operates. And even Dorit knows more than any of us how she operates considering she's been her friend. So, and then Kyle once again brings up the excuse of her struggles with her marriage and the death, and now she's bringing up the death of her best friend who died from, suicide, whatever. I'm not probably not getting paid for this anyway, so I can say it. Excuse me. And that right there just diminished, and that right there is just her way of trying to diminish Dorit's point. But like, you basically are just keep proving her point. Like you're just making up excuses on top of excuses on top of excuses of why you treated Dorit like crap or anybody else that you feel slighted by. And Dorit was right. Like Kyle cannot decide when or if she's friends with somebody per her own selfish terms. Yeah, because that's not a friend. Sorry. And then Dorit brings up Erica regarding the text and asks if Kyle is mad at Erica for giving her 2 cents. And then there was the whole, and then she also brings up Erica's Watch What Happens Live episode where Erica says that since she was eviscerated for the legal troubles regarding her ex-husband, the same should be, like, Kyle should be brought to the table over her marriage struggles and whatever else is going on with her. And I have to say, even though I didn't really like Erica like that, she gave a very good point. Like if I gotta be eviscerated, she has to be eviscerated. Like be fair across the board. And I'm not mad at that. If you're on the show, you have to talk about your life. And Kyle should know better than anybody on this show, considering she's been on this show since the very beginning. We're talking season one. So she should know better. Let's see. And now, once again, since Erica's name has been brought up, she feels like, you know what? Now I'm going to speak. And then she says that the only reason she said what she said in that Watch What Happens Live interview was to make a point to Andy. And again, I can't be mad at that. But Dorit brought it up to make the point to Kyle that how come Kyle is not mad at Erica for what she said, but she directs her anger to Dorit for speaking the truth about how she felt regarding Kyle and Morgan getting close. And let's see. And then once again, Kyle's mouth drops. It's like, just accept the truth, Kyle. The truth is the truth. And she said like the difference between what Erica said and what Dorit said is that Erica apologized. Okay, but the fact remains, truth was spoken. Like, why should Dorit be sorry for saying what is? Why? And that just goes back to what Dorit was saying. Like, she can't say anything or be real with you without you being slighted and wanting to close her off for some months at a time. It's like, well, what kind of friendship is that if she can't be real with you? But Dorit knew that. She knew. And while all this is going on, poor Jennifer Tilly is taking in the beef and she finds it hard to just keep up. All she cares about is when she'll be able to enjoy her meal in peace. Like, and honestly, Jennifer, I feel you on this. Like, why am I in this? Like, I don't know what's going on here, and I don't care. I just want to eat. Exactly. And even I don't know why I keep getting her name wrong. It's Bazoma. If it's wrong, I'll correct myself. Bazoma, even she says, like, I don't know what the F is going on. I'm gonna just eat my food. Like, I know that's right. Like, I'm not gonna wait around to see what's what, and if you're gonna figure this out, I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna have myself be uncomfortable any longer. It's like, even though y'all are fighting in front of me, it's like, all right, I may as well just go on ahead and eat. and but she can't help but observe that there's some passive aggressiveness on both sides and the lack of direct communication. And it's like just like too many layers between the two of what's really going on. And now it's Sutton's turn to speak. Well, she points out that she has her first-hand knowledge of being on the receiving end of Kyle not speaking to her for some months. And when they last had that conversation, she she says to Kyle up front that yes, you do ice people out. Kyle says that she acknowledges that and vows to fix that or to change that about herself. But that remains to be seen. Uh, Kyle and Dorit both apologize for their respective actions and words. But as we already know from the trailer, the drama between them is far from over. So, and Dorit, however, says that she's sorry for her BravoCon joke regarding ranking the Richards sisters, and she's sorry if that joke hurt Kyle. Kyle doesn't find that apology genuine and doesn't feel that Dorit wants to own up to anything. Well, if you want to be fair, Kyle, neither do you. So, and this is when, while this is going on, a side conversation, a small or brief side conversation between Erica and Bozoma is about, Erica was advising to Bozoma to always keep a record of all your text messages and don't erase anything because, well, you never know. Case in point, what's going on between Kyle and Dorit. Garcelle speaks up regarding Dorit's insistence on owning anything that she says that hurts and defends And Garcelle says that she doesn't agree that Dorit apologizes. And when I saw that part, I'm thinking, here we go. Like, where is this gonna go? And then Dorit says that she's not surprised that Garcelle agrees with Kyle on that. And then I instantly thought back to when Dorit refused to acknowledge her microaggressions and her caring behavior towards Garcelle. So that's obviously what that's about, and I can see why Garcelle would agree with Kyle on that. And then once Dorit says she's not surprised that Garcelle agrees, Garcelle shrugs off, saying, "Okay, I don't care. That's how I feel." And Dorit asks that it's obvious that she is not Garcelle's favorite person. And well, I mean, it is what it is. And then Sutton mouths, "Oh God." It's like, okay, first we were talking about Kyle and Dorit, now this. When is it gonna end? I don't blame you, Dorit. Look, I just came here to eat and enjoy the vacation. Like, come on. And Erica is also holding her head, and I got another laugh out of me. like, like this is supposed to be a nice dinner. What is going on here? Yeah, so much for all that, huh? And while that's happening, B downs her champagne, um, and then and I think either like Dory was the first to leave the table or to turn in, and then Kyle leaves, and then Kyle says in the confessional that she was looking for some resolution. Sure you were. If that were true, Kyle, then why did you announce at the table that you were interested in having a conversation with Dory? I mean, honestly, and I should have mentioned this in the last review, like, she could have either told her she wanted to talk to her, like, before the dinner, or waited till after the dinner to tell Dorit, hey, you and I need to have a talk. But that's not what happened here. So, it seems like you have a part in wanting to start another fight. But and she had her nerve to say that Dorit was the one looking for a fight. Anyways, and then Kyle talks about like, I don't know who that girl is. Again, way to prove Dorit's point. I just can't with Kyle. All right, after the dinner, Sutton and Garcelle discuss the tense conversation from last night's dinner. This is the next day. Garcelle says that the fight is this time around is more about betrayal and hurt on both sides of on both parties. I mean, before it was just about like who talks too much and all that, but this fight was more personal. And then Sutton wonders why the rest of the ladies had to bear witness to all this, as if they're like why are we in this? Like exactly. Like why are we bearing witness to something that has absolutely nothing to do with us? And she was better off. And she was better off like enjoying her meal and the view of the beach. Again, we're like this, son, because I would have felt the same way. Like I don't want to hear this shit. And in the next scene, I just want to point out that that Erica and Dorit have a heart to heart, and Erica admits to being concerned about Dorit's mental health regarding her own marriage struggles and what she's dealing with Kyle. And I have to say that this was nice to see because I realized how far they have come ever since season 7 when they first met and they were at odds with each other. And then after that, they just decided to put it in the past and just get along better. So they really come a long way since then. All right, now everybody goes on the boat. Um, and it's really cute to see that Sutton is very smitten with Captain Theo. She's all lusting after him and all that. She even takes herself to a happy place as Captain Theo is going over the protocols and safety rules regarding being on the boat. And then And Sutton lays a hand on Boz as if to say, like, help me, Jesus. Like, like, chill out, son. I mean, it's cool that it's nice that you got a little lust or crush thing going, but yeah. And at the table where I think they're eating lunch, Kyle and Dorit apologize to each other yet again. And honestly, this feels a little more sincere compared to the apologies exchanged at last night's dinner. Um, then the respective conversations happen, one between Dorit and Sutton, the other between Kyle and Garcelle. Dorit and Garcelle have a heart to heart about long and painful divorce journeys. And Sutton, who has been through that very journey, relates to Dorit her journey, considering like her child James was the same age as, was it Jagger, when she was going through the divorce proceedings. So, and tells Dorit like, yeah, if you need any support or help, I'm here for you. And I thought that was very nice of Sutton to do that. Between Kyle and Garcelle, they both discuss life for them after divorce and empty nesting. Garcelle gets emotional about figuring out who she is outside of being a mother and who she will be once Jade and Jax move out and go off on their own. And basically where life will take her next. Um, and then after that, Kyle tells Garcelle that PK has been texting with her, which Garcelle's very surprised by. Yeah, I'm not really gonna go through every single thing in this episode, so I'm just like really like zipping through what I remember and per what I've written down. Later on that at the dinner, and this is where the Sutton's Sisterhood pact speech is. She attempts to speak from her heart, even though she needs words because she's getting all choked up. But anyway, the Sisterhood speech, pact speech progresses, and they all put their hands in with the blue satin sash binding them, supposedly. And we'll see how long that lasts. I'll bet it won't be long. And Dorit says she will likely need to keep that blue silk sash in case anything were to pop off because she may feel like strangling somebody. So, the next scene is the van ride to the departing plane. Sutton feels something heavy on her heart that she wants to share with the group. And in keeping part with her Sisterhood pact, she feels compelled to, well, she wants all the ladies be comfortable and laying everything out in the open that's bothering them so they can work through it and move on from them. Case in point, she feels compelled to mention something about the side comments between Erica and Kyle um, regarding Teddy's, like Dorit sharing Teddy's Instagram story. I don't really give a shit about this, so that's why I didn't pay too much attention. But apparently, the whole point of Sutton bringing this up was to keep up with her promise, her end of the bargain about the Sisterhood Pact. But it ended up turning out very differently because now there's like a shouting match between herself and Dorit. Even after the heart to heart on the boat, it comes to this. So much for that Sisterhood Pact. Who knew it would last that long? Uh, yeah. However, the point still remains that, uh, like when Garcelle and Sutton see what Dorita shared, Garcelle sees it as hypocrisy that Dorit would share this, and she has said to the group that she's not as close friends with Teddy. Honestly, who cares? I really don't care as I speak about this. Um, Garcelle reminds everyone, though, that everyone, the main point is that to for Sutton to get it out there, work through it, and move on, regardless. And it may be taken well and may not, but it doesn't look like things will be worked out between Sutton and Dorit though, especially given next week's trailer, the trailer for next week's episode. So, and honestly, Sutton, maybe after everything like fell apart the way it did, maybe you were better off keeping this to yourself. Just saying. And I don't like that Dorit feels like she has a right to yell and get in Sutton's face because Sutton got into hers. Well, I didn't like how you yelled at Garcelle's face more than once, and then you screamed at Crystal's face in a season ago. So how does it feel to get back what you always dish out? If you don't want people yelling at you, don't feel like you get to scream in their faces to get them to silence them. I mean, it's only fair. And that's why I have said before that I'm not all the way on Dorit's side, because I didn't forget how she treated Garcelle and Crystal as far as yelling at them to get them to shut up. Not cool. So, next week's episode should be very interesting considering, they're considering Sutton and Dorit once again kind of getting into it. And that whole don't project your problems onto me was at Dorit instead of Erica. So, that's good to know. And plus, Camille is back. And once again, either what was it? Oh yeah, Camille says that Dorit was a see you next Tuesday to her. And yeah, this should be interesting. So you guys have a nice day and I'll see you later. Bye.